let's have this conversation because tourism is a key economic driver in Ghana and around the world. In 2017, the sector contributed $2.7 billion, which is about 6% to national GDP. And in the year before COVID-19 struck, it contributed nearly $1.5 billion. In fact, I'm just hearing that it shot up to $3.3 billion. That has never been any doubt about the potential of tourism. It is for no reason that Rwanda spends millions of dollars to advertise its tourism sites in an effort to attract tourists. Well, next week, Ghana will join the rest of the world to commemorate World Tourism Day. This year's program will be hosted in the Hohoe Municipal Assembly of the Volta region on the theme Tourism for Inclusive Growth, to convey tourism's role in ensuring the many social and economic benefits that tourism brings, which is available to everybody, resulting in wealth creation and poverty reduction. So let's talk about it now, because in the studio with me is Kofi Atta-Kakra-Kusi, who is the spokesperson for the Ghana Tourism Authority, and he joins me now for a conversation. Good to have you, Kofi. First, I'd like you to tell me how the industry has fared. We all know what has happened with COVID-19. Cinemas closed, hotels closed, restaurants, bars. Some hotels have even turned into quarantine areas. I mean, how have you fared, throughout this period?
Good, Aisha. Let me give a shout out to my Chief Executive, Mr. Kwesi Agyeman, and Honorable Minister for Tourism, Dr. Ibrahim Awal Mohammed. The tourism sector, but of course, just as has been in the news we were bad hit with COVID. COVID brought its own issues that we are trying to grapple with. But of course, the national agenda has been to be able to bring tourism to a pedestal that after COVID, we can move in that smooth sail. You know what COVID brought to us. The hotels were closed down. We had nightclubs issues. We had drinking bars and then cinemas and all that. All that downplayed. Do not forget, as when we were about to take off after the Year of Return. The Year of Return was the landmark marketing campaign that the Ghana Tourism Authority, and do not forget, it's due to the Year of Return that we were able to rake in close to about $3.3 billion into the economy. This came from about 1.3 million travels that tourists that pulled into the country. Okay. And in spite of all this, what the ministry and the Ghana Tourism Authority is doing is that we are trying to resuscitate the industry and then push with various projects that, of course, I'll be outlining in the course of our discussions.
Okay, so of course, what's the plan to bounce back? Because we know that COVID has really affected the industry.
Yes.
And as we gear towards World Tourism Day, and I like to share stories of other countries. In fact, I mentioned one when I was introducing the script. There's also one in China where they have embarked on a deliberate effort to make that place a tourism hub. So you have no choice to come to that part of China or any part of those countries I've mentioned to you because it is attractive.
Absolutely.
How are we bouncing back? What's the plan? What's the support from government? Then we can think of how to bring people back here.
Good. This is, I think I must commend you for this. What the Ghana Tourism Authority, under the leadership of Mr. Kwesi Agyeman and my Chief Executive, the Honorable Minister for Tourism, Dr. Ibrahim Awal Mohammed, what has been put in place is this. We have launched a new campaign we call Experience Ghana, Share Ghana. This is virtually a domestic tourism campaign that we are using to be able to bounce back. Now, we realize that, for example, just as you mentioned, somewhere in China, somewhere in Rwanda, during as COVID raged in those places, they have not been able to travel. So they are trying to do what? Build their own domestic system. And that is exactly what Ghana is also trying to do. That is why we have this Experience Ghana, Share Ghana campaign. Okay. The campaign is aimed at giving boost to our earlier campaign, which is See Ghana, Eat Ghana, Wear Ghana, and Feel Ghana. Okay. We have, so far, you realize that we've had lots of collaboration with the Tour Operators Union of Ghana, the Tour Guides Association, the restaurants, the nightclubs, the car rentals, the travel agencies, all these people, we brought them into a stakeholders engagement. And then we took their views. We actually had to solicit their views to be able to start this domestic tourism campaign, which we call Experience Ghana, Share Ghana.
Okay.
What the campaign, like I've mentioned, is to bounce back the tourism industry. What also we have done with this campaign is that we've had the World Bank development project to be able, the World Bank, which has given us some funds. And the funds, we call it Ghana Tourism Development Project. And those funds are to help us to be able to develop most of our tourist sites and attractions.
Okay.
Yes. Hitherto, as I'm speaking with you, some of the tourist sites have been developed. We have Nzulezu, we have Tafi Atome, we have some of the museums, all that coming from support from the Tourism Development Fund, and then also from the Ghana Tourist Development Project from the World Bank.
Okay.
More to that also, what we are also doing is that we have a new LI. The LI was passed in 2019, just as it was passed, COVID came in. The LI is the Tourist Sites and Attractions Regulations. These regulations is giving the Ghana Tourism Authority the support, the strength to be able to manage most of our tourist sites and attractions. And you realize that these tourist sites and attractions, most often than not, are in the bosom of the communities, the chiefs and people. So the LI is giving us the strength to be able to see to the development of these tourist sites. That is how come the World Bank Development Project and the Tourism Development Fund is supporting assiduously.
I'm happy before COVID came in, I mean, you were able to contribute about 3.3 billion with a year of return.
That's true.
I mean, that's no doubt. That was massive for the tourism industry. But after COVID, a lot of the industries, like I mentioned, hotels, restaurants, I mean, all of them, cinemas, were going down because there was no action.
Yes.
What support have you provided for them, I mean, in terms of funds to bounce back?
Good. As part of getting them back on their feet, what the Ghana Tourism Authority, under the auspices of the Ministry of Tourism, did was to look up also to the Ghana Tourism Development Project. The World Bank also gave an amount of money, some amount of money that was used to be able to get them on track.
Okay.
Some also came from the Ghana Enterprises Agency, the defunct NBSSI. So our tourism operators could confirm to this that yes, these funds were put up to them and then they were able to apply. But there is also a new fund that has to do with the Ghana Enterprises Agency, which they are still trying as much as possible to apply so that more funds could be made available in order to bring them back to their normal stage. Though they may not get it normal, but as we move on, we would be able to get to the threshold.
Okay, but let's also look at local tourism. How are you encouraging that? Because in times like these, the pandemic and all of that, these are the things that can help us stabilize the sector. And so I'll give you an example of the UK, for instance. The UK took a painful effort of trying to ensure that they make it attractive and stop their citizens from traveling outside, because they look at the kind of money they spend when they go outside to enjoy their vacation and all that. So a lot of them now stay at home to enjoy their vacation, so that it means that that money stays in the UK. How are you encouraging local tourism? I mean, what's the plan?
Good. We have a plan, and this plan was part of what I earlier on mentioned. It's part of what we did with our stakeholders. We call them the Ghana Tourism Federation. It encompasses the hotels, it encompasses the tour operators, the travel agents, the airlines, and all the tourism travel chain. So what we are doing and what we did is that we are making sure that we sensitize as many public Ghanaians so that they are able to know that it is our own. We need to develop our own.
Okay, so if it's our own,
yes,
is it worth it? Why should I use my money to go to Toffee Atoy, for instance, to look at any tourist site? Is it worth it?
It is.
Have we improved the sites? Remember before COVID came in and all of that, we're all complaining about the natural sites that we have, that we've abandoned, that can cash in money for us.
Good. Aisha, like I mentioned, some of our tourist sites, of course, have issues. That is why we have the LI 2393. That has to do with the tourist sites and attractions regulations.
Okay.
That LI is what is helping us to be able to bring them back to fruition.
Okay.
You see, for example, if you get to the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, and most people have been saying, oh, it has issues. Yes, but what the Ghana Tourism Authority and the ministry has done is that currently we are renovating the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. And then also there are more tourist sites that we are working on. In as much as we are looking at developing our domestic tourism, we have to look at our tourist sites and attractions. And then also we look at also customer service. Customer service is key into development of our tourism sector.
Okay, so customer service, that's number one. And I will take you back to year of return. Year of return was massive. But in this COVID situation, you can't do year of return because of the kind of large crowd that come in. So what's the plan? I mean, in the interim, as we await COVID to be over, then we can do all the things that we used to do. In the interim, we still need that money from the tourism sector. What's the plan?
The plan is that even during COVID, what the ministry did was to bring up what we call Beyond the Return. Okay. That is a follow-up to the year of return. Okay. Beyond the Return has about 7 pillars. One of which has to do with Celebrate Ghana. Other has to do with Brand Ghana. And then we have Diaspora Pathways to Ghana. And then there are about 7. So all these pillars, what we are doing is that we have various committees that are working assiduously on that, in order to be able to get Ghanaians to understand that all that we are doing has to do with resuscitating our domestic tourism campaign, which is Experience Ghana and Share Ghana. So we are virtually not being able to travel out of the country, so we have to look at our own setting. How are we to improve upon it? And that is what the Ghana Tourism Authority is doing. 1, improvement of our tourist sites. 2, our customer service. We launched a customer service excellence agenda, which is key on our outlines. Then also, we're also looking at the industry professionals. How are we to get them to understand that this is an industry that has to do with all of us? That is why with the theme for the World Tourism Day is Tourism for Inclusive Growth. So all of us coming together as one people, what are we doing? What can we do to be able to resuscitate? And that is what the agenda of the tourism ministry is about.
I'm really interested in the theme for the celebration for this year. Tourism, what?
Tourism for inclusive growth. For
inclusive growth, it means you're bringing everybody on board.
Yes.
And you also mentioned happily that because of COVID, I mean, the traveling is a bit limited. So you cannot do as much as travel you used to do before COVID. So if I wanted to go for vacation and I take my leave, and it's very important for me as a worker to take that vacation to go resuscitate, revamp, rejuvenate, whatever. And I pick my bag and I want to go to Zambia because there are a lot of natural sightseeing for me to go and look at there. Now, because of COVID, I don't want to do that, but that money I'm going to spend in Zambia, I want to spend it in Ghana. Tell me, are there places that I can actually enjoy that?
Aisha, there are a lot of places in Ghana you can enjoy.
Where? Tell me about.
A lot. One, we are looking at the cultural aspect of it. 2, we are looking at the historical aspect of it. We are looking at educational and then recreational, leisure. All these places, most of these places, you can go to, you have, for example, we're going to have the World Tourism Day in Hohoi.
Okay.
Right. We have...
Do I have to wait till every year when there's World Tourism Day before I can go to places?
No, the sites are there. The sites are already there.
Tell me about them. Where are they?
Tagbo Falls is in the Volta region.
Okay.
Yes. We have Apajato in the Volta region. We have Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. We have the Art Center. We have Mullen National Park, just as I can see on the screen. We have Shire Hills. All these places are places of convenience that, though, like I mentioned, we accept that there are a little bit of challenges, which we are working on them one after the other.
So some of them, I mean, the road to the place is a problem.
Good.
I mean, how you even get there is one of the problems. I mean, my problem is how you are making it attractive. I know about Paga. I know about Willie Falls. I know about a few of the Larabanga Mosque. I know about some of these tourism sites. But how would they attract me? I want something to actually attract me, to say that I'm not going elsewhere. I'm not traveling outside the country, but I want to enjoy my own home sites. I mean, tourist sites, to refresh my memory. How are we encouraging people to be attracted to this?
Good, Aisha. As a matter of fact, during the launch of the domestic tourism campaign, we call it Experience Ghana, Share Ghana. What we did was that we had to poke with the Ministry of Finance and then the Ministry of Roads. As a matter of fact, the Minister for Roads was at the launch of the domestic tourism campaign.
Okay.
Why did we push him there? We pushed him there because some of our roads leading to the tourist sites needs to be fixed.
Definitely.
Yes. So it is some conversation that the Honorable Minister, my Chief Executive, and the well-meaning private sector are pushing up under the sleeves of the government. So the government is able to see that, yes, these things are very important. Of course, we have fixed some of the roads. If you go to Kakum National Park, the road is fixed. If you go to Kwawu paragliding site, the roads are being fixed. So some of the roads are being fixed, I could confirm to you. And of course, some of your viewers could also attest to that. So we cannot do that at a go, but it is gradual process for us to get there.
Well, it's a gradual process. Maybe we need to speed up. Maybe the pace is a bit slow because we want to catch up with our colleagues out there. Now, let's talk about the Tourism Day. And you mentioned the theme there. Tell me about the theme. I mean, what to expect on that day?
Good. Aisha, the World Tourism Day, it's a day that is always put aside to celebrate and then also be able to see what tourism contributes to society. Tourism, we could say that it's a multi-sectoral sector. Just as we mentioned, you realize that I mentioned that the Minister for Roads, the Minister for Finance were at the launch and all that. It means we always engage other sectors of the economy to be able to get our tourist sites and attractions and then get our tourism people to understand that this is very important and key to our national development. So with the World Tourism Day, Tourism for Inclusive Growth, we are looking at everybody coming on board. Each and everyone matters in the tourism industry. The private sector, the indigenes, the communities, all those people. So what we are also doing is that we are trying to involve the communities. You realize that in recent times, we are trying to put together various tourism committees in the various regions, right? Also, the Ghana Tourism Authority, like I mentioned early on, we have about 11 regional offices. All these offices take note of the various regions where they find themselves. We also have district offices, even to the zones, even zonals, right? All these offices try to improve the tourism industry in order to have a holistic way of pulling the industry together.
And so beyond this celebration, what should we expect from the tourism ministry?
Yes, the tourism, the ministry is looking at pushing more in order for us to be able to have the goodwill that the tourism sector brings each and every time. But of course, Aisha, let me give a roundup of the programs that we have. On the 26th of September, that'll be on Sunday. We're going to have a health walk, and then and then we're going to have a Afajato hiking challenge. It will be, we have revelers and people move up and down the Afajato, or more or less a challenge. So we're going to reward first, second, and third winners for them to be able to champion the domestic tourism campaign. And then also on the 27th September each year is World Tourism Day. That is when we celebrate the tourism fraternity. Our private sector, our public sector, each and every one, we come together, we have a deba with the chiefs and people of Hohoi, which is going to be a very wonderful experience for Ghanaians. And we urge each and everyone to take tourism as one of the key drivers of the national economy. In as much as we are doing that, what we have also unveiled is that we have something we call Accra City Tour. And we have unveiled what we call, as part of the Experience Ghana, Share Ghana domestic tourism campaign, we have the Accra City Tour, which we have the double-decker bus, and then also we have the bone shaker. Anyone who wants to patronize this, we can call on the Tourism Authority or the Tour Operators Union of Ghana. These are ways that we are trying to influence Ghanaians for them to be able to understand that domestic tourism is key to national development.
And I wish you well in your up and coming Tourism Day celebration at Kakra.